occupation now!
End the occupation now!
End the occupation now!
End the occupation now!
Oakland. I teach at San Francisco State University. I'm a member of the PAM caucus of my union who has endorsed this rally, has endorsed resolutions of solidarity with Palestine, and we were on strike on December 5th, and we will be on strike next year for a fair contract. So Bay Area Labor for Palestine is a coalition of rank-and-file workers in the Bay Area from different unions who believe that the labor movement in this country needs to stand in solidarity with Palestine, with Palestinian workers, and with their demand that we end U.S. aid to Israel. I want to read from you the call that was made from Palestinian unions, all of the unions of Palestinian workers, 2 months ago, asking workers and unions all over the world to stand in solidarity with them. They said, as Israel escalates its military campaign, Palestinian trade unions call on all our counterparts internationally and all people of conscience to end all forms of complicity with Israel's crimes. Most urgently, halting the arms trades with Israel as well as funding military research. The time for action is now. Palestinian lives hang in the balance. This was written 2 months ago. This call was made 2 months ago. Palestinian lives hang in the balance today way more than 2 months ago, and this is the first of many labor actions to start hitting the call from our Palestinian siblings for solidarity. The Palestinian unions asked us to stand in solidarity and reminded us of the work of trade unions in the past against the apartheid in South Africa, against other wars, against the dictatorship in Chile, and they called very explicitly that we, quote, refuse to build weapons destined to Israel, that we refuse to transport weapons to Israel, that we pass motions in our trade unions to honor this boycott, that we take action against the companies involved in Israel's illegal siege and bombing, and that we pressure governments to stop all military trade with Israel, and in the case of the US, that we stop funding Israel. This is what the Palestinian unions are asking us to do, and this is what we're here to protest and to demonstrate against, because our government, the US government, has been financing Israel since 1946. They have been financing Israel since 1946, and since that day, more than $200 billion from our labor, from our taxes, are sent to Israel without our consent. And Biden knows that he does not have the popular opinion with him anymore. He knows that because he had promised 14 billion, and he's not been able to pass it through the House of Congress. And what did Biden do last week? He circumvented Congress to send 14,000 ammunitions for the Israeli tanks, $100 million to continue the genocide in Palestine. And so we want to send a very clear message from here to our government and from here to our Palestinian siblings. We want money for jobs, for healthcare, and for education. We don't want money for war, we don't want money for incarceration, and we don't want money for occupation. Not our money. And with that said, I want to pass the mic to Isham from PYM, an amazing organization of the Palestinian youth in this country, who's going to teach us about the history of the Palestinian labor movement. Everything we have to learn from them since the first Intifada, when they did a campaign of strikes and boycotts, to the strikes and boycotts that are happening this week in the Palestinian territories and all the countries standing in solidarity with Palestine, because because we have a lot to learn from the Palestinian trade movement, and because we can act in solidarity with them to stop this war, to stop this genocide, and to fight for the future we need. So give it up, please, for Hisham. Thank you, comrades, for being here.
Tell me what you want, what you really want. Tell me what you need, what you really need. How we gonna get it? 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 Thank you all very much. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you all. My name is Hisham. I'm with the Palestinian Youth Movement, also known as PYM, a transnational grassroots organization of Palestinian and Arab youth across the US, Canada, and Europe, struggling for the total liberation of our homeland, from the river to the sea. We are here today and every day demanding an immediate and total ceasefire. This is the most urgent demand, but we also know that our demands need to extend beyond just a ceasefire. In order for Gaza to rebuild after this attack, there needs to be an end to the siege in Gaza. For true freedom and liberation, we need the end of the 75-year occupation of our land. We need Palestinian prisoners held hostage in the Zionist prisons to be released, and all of us displaced around the globe must have the right to return. And finally, a ceasefire without an end to all US aid to the Zionist state. Now, as we gather here on the International Labor Shut It Down for Palestine Day, as we see the mass support for Palestine rippling through the Bay Area, the US, and across the world, as we witness hundreds of actions shutting it down for Palestine, it is clear that the masses and the workers of the world stand with us. We know that Zionism is a form of settler colonialism, and we know that settler colonialism is built on exploitation. Settler colonialism is the exploitation of the land and resources for the settlers' benefits, while also exploiting the labor of the indigenous population for their own gain. When discussing labor in Palestine, it is imperative to look back at the First Intifada. During the First Intifada, many Palestinian workers went on strike as a way of economically crippling the Zionist state of Israel. Shopkeepers refused to open their stores in occupied Palestine. Lawyers went on strike when they were unable to visit their clients in custody. At one point during the First Intifada, the people of Beit Hur in the West Bank had 18 cows that provided food and resources for people in the community as a way of envisioning Palestinian independence and self-determination. The government of Israel considered these 18 cows, quote, to be a national security threat. What all of these incidents have in common is workers yielding their power to demand and exercise their right to self-determination. As the Palestinian revolutionary Ghassan Kanafani once said, the Palestinian cause is not a cause for Palestinians only, but a cause for every revolutionary, wherever he is, a cause of the exploited and oppressed masses. And because the Palestinian cause is a cause for every revolutionary, because it is a cause for the exploited and oppressed masses, it is also true that the dirty and shameful history of companies like Google, Amazon, HP, and many others that are based here in the Bay Area, in their support for imperialism and genocide, will be forced to an end. It will be forced to an end by the masses across the world who stand on the side of justice and liberation. Today we stand on the shoulders of our elders who understood that workers are at the forefront of this struggle. We have been answering the general strike calls from the ground, from the West Bank, from Gaza, from all our lands, from East Jerusalem to the streets in Ramallah, in Bethlehem, in Amman, and many more across the region. These stores were deserted this past week, sending a clear message to the world that as long as our people in Gaza are being genocided, there will be no peace. And this coming Monday, on December 18th, our people called for another general strike. That means no school, no work, and no shopping. And I have no doubt that Oakland and the Bay Area will show up and shut it down. And that is why we are honored to be standing side by side, calling for an end to this genocide with all the workers of the local Bay Area unions. Make some noise, y'all. The rest of the nation looks to us in the Bay Area and is looking at us here today at one of the first Labor for Palestine rallies in the nation. Now, when Palestine is free, those people and institutions and states who orchestrated genocide, those forces who collaborated and supported colonialism and imperialism, they will be the ones who are written into the history books as shameful footnotes among a sea of pages and pages about the steadfast Palestinian people and all free people of the world. And when Palestine is free, we will all be free. Workers will lead us to liberation. That is why we are honored to be standing side by side, calling for an end to this genocide with all the workers and local Bay Area unions standing on the right side of history today. And with that being said, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
Free, free, free Palestine!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
Palestine will be free!
Thank you all so much, East Bay. Really appreciate you all.
Let's hear it again, Preschool. All right, y'all, again, my name is Benny. I'm with IFPTE Local 21, DSA and Tank. Bay Area Labor for Palestine started with just a few rank and file members and staff that were DSA members coming together, trying to organize in our unions. And it's grown into this big, beautiful labor movement for Palestine that we see out here today. We have over 20 unions represented in our coalition. Rank and file members. We have a bunch of community groups and political groups involved. And I'm just going to shout out some of our endorsing labor organizations real quick, and then we'll get to our speakers. Where's OEA at? We got the Oakland Education Association. We have the United Educators of San Francisco endorsing. Unite Here Local 2. AFSCME 3299. SEIU USWW. UAW 2865 and 5810. ILWU Local 10. We've got the EDC Union and IWW Bay Area. We have the Palestinian Arab and Muslim Caucus of CFA. We've got 1021 members for Palestine. We've got Union Nurses for Palestine. And we have Trabajadores Unidos. And I want to give a special shout out to Farley's East United Workers, several of whom were fired recently and their co-workers resigned in protest. This is the kind of thing we need to do together and with our co-workers. These brave workers from Farley's East United stood up for each other against harassment and repression by the Zionists. And it's critical that we stand up with them. Now for our first speaker, I'm very excited to introduce Olivia Udovich, the first VP of OEA.
Good afternoon, Oakland! My name is Olivia. I'm the first vice president of the Oakland Education Association. Thank you. I am here as a longtime kindergarten teacher. I am here as a Chicana mother. I am here as a leader in a labor union that is at the forefront of a movement decades in the making to reimagine labor unions. A reimagining that calls on labor to dream big and to leverage our worker power for liberation. In OEA, this reimagining has led to major victories for Oakland. These victories include the elimination of school police, a response to a global pandemic rooted in the needs of Oakland's Black and brown communities, reparations for Black students, two major strikes in the last 5 years that resulted in huge common good victories, and filled the streets of Oakland with the words, "Get up, get down, Oakland is a union town. Get up, get down, Oakland is a union town. Get up, get down, Oakland is a union town." Today, this reimagining has brought us all here in solidarity with the labor movement in Palestine. We are here today as members of the labor movement, calling for a ceasefire, calling for an end to U.S. military aid to Israel, for an end to the illegal occupation of Palestine. We are here today to denounce anti-Semitism, denounce Islamophobia, and denounce anti-Arab racism. At this moment in Oakland, in a sanctuary, in the birthplace of the Black Panther Party, our children are watching a genocide unfold on their phones. At this moment in Oakland, in a sanctuary school district, our school district leaders have used their power to call for silence. Director Mike Hutchinson, the president of the Oakland Unified School District School Board, has canceled the last 3 school board meetings where a resolution calling for a ceasefire brought by school board director Valerie Batchelor was to be discussed. This blatant act of Islamophobia and anti-Arab racism has caused great harm for OUSD's Palestinian, Arab, and Muslim staff, families, and students. At this moment in Oakland, the action of our school district leaders are telling the city of Oakland that our Arab and Muslim neighbors are to be feared. The labor unions in our district, they chose a different path. OEA has followed our democratic processes to say loud and clear on behalf of our membership that Oakland schools desperately need our tax dollars. Oakland's youth deserve to learn about Palestine. Oakland schools must be safe and welcoming to all our students. Our membership has said loud and clear that we cannot be silent during a genocide. Not only are we saying this, but we are putting our words into action. Despite threats of termination from school board president Mike Hutchinson and attempts to delegitimize and shame OUSD educators from school board member Sam Davis, teachers are teaching about Palestine. I encourage every one of you, no matter your age, to read the beautiful children's book, C.T.'s Olive Trees, that I read to my kindergarten classroom last Wednesday as part of the Palestine teach-in, that was organized by OEA members and endorsed by OEA's representative council. I am here today because within days of the start of this genocide, 8 of my daughters current or former teachers reached out to me as their vice president, wanting to hear their union stand strong for Palestine. The reimagining of the labor movement is working. Our members now expect us to speak. Our members will not let their leaders be silent. But Oakland, we need you. And if you thought you were going to invite a teacher up here and not get a task to do, think again. Oakland, get out your phones. Oakland, open up your email. Oakland, send a message to mike.hutchinson@ousd.org and demand he schedule a special board meeting next week for the first read of the ceasefire resolution. Mike.hutchinson@ousd.org. We need you all at the next school board meeting to stand with OUSD's Arab and Muslim families and staff in their demand for a ceasefire resolution. We need you demanding a liberated ethnic studies curriculum that includes the teaching of Palestine. We need you to fight austerity and privatization in our public schools, because in this moment, in Oakland, the forces pushing for privatization are collaborating with the Zionist movement to undermine our labor unions. And Oakland, we cannot let this happen, because Oakland is a union town. Get up, get down. Oakland is a union town. Get up, get down. Oakland is a union town. Get up, get down. Oakland is a union town. Viva, viva Palestina.
Viva, viva Palestina.
Viva, viva Palestina.
Viva, viva Palestina.
Thank you.
Thank you, Olivia. Now with the theme of teaching Palestine to our youth, we're going to hear from our preschoolers for Palestine.
Can we take this off? Can I take this off? They're going to help us. Hold it up to your mouth. Say, we made a banner with 100 free Palestines, and we're going to say free Palestine 100 times.
We made a banner still with 100 free Palestines. We're gonna say 100 free Palestines.
All right, where's Audrey? You ready?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
From the river to the sea.
From the river to the sea.
Free, free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
From the river
we go.
Everywhere we go. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. From the river to the sea. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free.
Let's hear it for the preschoolers.
All right, that's a hard act to follow. But up next we have Linda Corey-Amile, shop steward at SEIU 1021.
Woo! Yeah, that actually really is a hard act to follow. Thank you. Hello. All right. Thank you so much, little ones. I wish I brought my little ones here. They are the spirit and they are the soul of this. Honestly, this particular chapter of Palestinian struggle is based on the children and the absurd amount of children who have died in the last 2 months. So it is really great to be with you gathered here today in the fight for Palestinian liberation. I'm a Palestinian American who was born and raised in the Bay Area. Woo! Palestinian. I've been involved in Palestine activism my entire life, and I am exhilarated by the recent infusion of energy into the movement for Palestinian freedom and dignity. At the same time, I feel immense grief for the cost of these gains. The cost of unimaginable human suffering and thousands of Palestinian lives lost, over 40% of which are children. Again, children. Let that sink in. As union members and working class people in the United States, we have the unique opportunity to stop the war machine that is destroying families, robbing human beings of their dreams and futures, and that is planting the seeds of future conflict. We here today are joining the millions of people around the world, working class people, people who care about human rights, to send to the United States and Israel the message that the workers of the world are uniting against this atrocious genocide. We are here to send the message that labor does not accept the U.S. government using billions of our tax dollars to finance a genocide abroad instead of investing those much needed dollars in our communities here at home. We know that in the workplace, our voices united give us the power when the boss wants to divide us up and put us down. We have to unite the same way outside of the workplace as well. In every hall of power, working people are having to struggle against political, academic, media, and cultural institutions just to put out a statement standing against genocide? That is ridiculous. Academic journals and media outlets are unilaterally censoring articles and stories exposing the truth. AIPAC and the Zionist lobby are working overtime to silence anyone who opposes their agenda. Boo! And our reactionary Congress is installing Zionists into leadership of prestigious universities, more than already exist today. The Israeli military is killing journalists in Gaza and in Lebanon. Let's not forget about our Lebanese brothers and sisters who are also experiencing this. 24 journalists have been killed since October 7th. This is a blatant violation of human rights law. Israel's bombing hospitals. As of today, over half of Gaza's 36 hospitals are non-functioning. Ooh. Israel's killing doctors and nurses. More than 200 medical personnel have been killed since the genocide started. They are polluting water. 97% of water in Gaza is considered unfit for human consumption. Shame! Absolutely shame. In just 2 months, they have displaced and made homeless a population double the size of San Francisco's. Instead of investing in the homeless population of San Francisco, they want to put our money to bomb children in Gaza. Disgusting. And then they bomb people fleeing for their lives, despite promising safe route. This is absolutely unacceptable, and we as labor reject this. Billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are manipulating their social media platforms to silence Palestinian voices and to hide these images from us. Ooh. But no matter how much they try to keep us in the dark, the light is breaking through the cracks. The world is seeing what is actually happening. The ultra-rich cannot contain the truth. They are losing the battle and they know it. They know that they cannot beat the 99% when we are united. We are the union of the working class and we cannot be divided. Workers in unions, you can get resolutions with our demands passed at your workplaces and at your union locals. More pressingly, we are empowered to bargain for the common good and implement boycott, divestment, sanction agreements at work, whether in contract bargaining or during midterm bargaining. For people who aren't in unions, keep hitting the streets in protest. Woo! Keep coming to public comment at your local government meetings to get resolutions passed. Pack the courtroom next week to show Brooke Jenkins that she cannot repress our free speech by criminalizing our protests. Have no doubt that the people in power see every single one of these statements and actions. And that's why they fight so hard to defeat them. And that's why they've been changing their tune to sound less and less pro-Israel every week. The people in power have to know that we demand, at the very minimum, an immediate ceasefire. A permanent ceasefire, an end to U.S. military aid to Israel, and an end to the occupation and siege of Palestinian land by Israeli forces. Together, we can make this a reality. And I have one very exciting announcement for you. SEIU 10-1, my union, and many of the people here participated in nightly meetings and hard work, blood, sweat, and tears to prepare one of the strongest resolutions ever proposed in the history of the United States on Israel-Palestine. And just today, as we speak, our executive board, the highest body representing 60,000 members in Northern California, passed one of the strongest resolutions in the U.S. just this hour. Woo! Yes! So everybody get out there, to get involved in their unions. They made it look like they weren't going to do it. They put every obstacle in front of us, but we put everything into it, and it passed, and I want everyone to go out there and do the same and be inspired by this resolution. Thank you all. Free Palestine! Woo!
Bay Area, make some noise! Labor, make some noise! My name is Sharif Zakut. I'm with the Arab Resource and Organizing Center, AROC. We know that the workers have the power in this country. We also know that the workers specifically here in the Bay Area are leading the way in this fight, in this important struggle. So give it up for yourselves, the workers, labor, all of us here in solidarity. Now I have a lot of love for these next folks I'm going to introduce. How many of y'all have heard of Block the Boat? This solidarity has been felt since almost 10 years, and I want to introduce Bo Longo, the chair of the Young Workers Committee for the International Longshore and Warehouse Union, Local 10. Give it up for Bo. This was the guy who brought forward a ceasefire resolution to ILWU Local 10, and beyond that, they have been showing up to every city council, making sure that ILWU 10, they know where ILWU Local 10 stands on this side of history. Give it up for ILWU Local 10.
Good afternoon, Oakland. How everybody doing? Thank you, Sharif, and everybody for the wonderful rally that's been going on. It's beautiful to see labor show up for Palestine. So like you said, my name is Bo Longo. I'm a third-generation longshoreman with the International Longshore and Warehouse Union. I recently I'm also the chair of the Young Workers Committee of our local, and we're fairly new. We've only been around for about a year. One thing to say is, I recently had the honor of bringing a resolution to the rank and file of Local 10, and I'm happy to say that resolution passed unanimously with no debate. So I'm going to fill you in with a little bit of ILWU's history. So the ILWU solidarity with Palestine actually dates back to 1988. In 1988, the ILWU passed its first resolution for the end of the Israeli occupation. Local 10 has specifically had a history of fighting apartheid. Like they said before, we have respected all the picket lines from 2010, 2014, and 2021 when the Zim ships have tried to get worked here in Oakland. And I'm happy to say that for over a decade, a Zim ship hasn't been worked in the Bay Area. Also in 2002, when the Palestinian General Federation of Trade Union in the West Bank was bombed in the headquarters, ILWU Local 10 stepped up and had an action at that time as well. In 1984, the longshoremen of Local 10 led a strike against a cargo ship in South Africa, from South Africa. And when Nelson Mandela came to Oakland in 1990, he made it a point to recognize that that strike was a critical moment to the end of the South African apartheid. And that moment shows that labor has the power. In our local, we have a saying, an injury to one is an injury to all. And our fourth guiding principle states, to help any worker in distress must be a daily guide in the life of every trade union and its individual members. We are positioned right in the middle of the supply chain and have to work with many foreign entities. So it's very important for us to be aware of foreign policy. We understand the pressures that we could apply in this position. Over 62% of the Americans work in the labor force, and we will always have the advantage if we stick together and resist oppression. And just remember, nothing moves if we don't move. So I got one quote I want to end this with, and it's a quote from Harry Bridges, the founder of the ILWU. And when he was asked to interfere with the foreign policy of this country, his response was, "Sure as hell, that's our job, that's our right, that's our privilege, and that's our duty. Solidarity." Free Palestine.
Thank you so much, Bo. We have another surprise speaker, Brian McWilliams, who's the past international president of the ILWU.
Thank you. So, I wish I had something to tell you that you don't already know. But let's reflect upon the long-suffering conditions for people in Gaza anyway. I visited Gaza during the first Intifada in 1990, and conditions were beyond repressive. Anywhere in the world where people have been subjected to similar conditions, there has been an understandable and natural resistance, especially when you're living in a virtual prison. Few of us can imagine what it was like for the Irish or South Africans, or what it's been like for the Palestinians, who generation after generation have been denied basic human rights that we all take for granted. On top of that, we're now witnessing the biggest singular humanitarian crisis in our lifetime. So, what is the solution? How do we change the course of this ugly past? Can the current world leadership only stand by and watch? I see the path that we're on only guaranteeing that this past will have to repeat itself again and again. Peace ought to be our solution, and it cannot be accomplished with our current leadership. Israel is a client state of the U.S., and our government has to weigh in strongly to have the siege there on innocent humanity not only stop immediately, but to depart from our destructive policies which allow the domination of other peoples. One world, one people, and please remember that we have a common destiny. Thank you.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
We've got a few more speakers for you still, and then we will be taking to the streets, so please stick around. Right now we're going to have a little bit of wonderful music for you, then we'll get our speakers, and then we'll be taken to the streets. Thank you for being here.
Let me shorten myself up here, extending my toes. Thank you all for coming out. Look around, 360 degrees. Look at all the UAW 2865. Let's hear it for all the people that brought their signs. This is unbelievable. This is really great. Great to see 4 generations of people here. My name is Pat Fahey. Produce Megatrends on KXSF, and I talk about this event, and I'll talk about it next Wednesday with Hashem and hopefully some other people. And this is a song called Which Side Are You On? It's to that, so I want to hear you sing it. I want to hear you sing it. Okay, let's try it one more time. Which side are you on? Which side are you? I can't hear ya. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Yeah. Now, let's take a hard look at closer look at history's warring tactics. How to make a little war and avoid peaceful prophylactics. Well, how does a settler colonizer put their own in harm's way? Blood of the patriots must be spilled as the price to pay for what corrupt leaders call a great planned illusion. Can't allow a productive Palestine or anything like a two-state solution. So let's manufacture a triggering event when you want to flip public opinion on the reluctance to go to war when we really want territorial dominion. Which side? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Can't hear you now. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? The Vietnam syndrome was a problem. Bush and Cheney needed to change. So they worked up a triggering event they did, masking an invasion easy to arrange. Let's talk the Gulf of Tonkin, manufactured by LGBJ or White Stock Fire in 1933 that made killing Jews okay. So how was October 7th any different? Netanyahu's Hamas asset plan to distract public opinion and divide Palestinians again? So for calling out Netanyahu, Haaretz is now a target. His propaganda no longer works, nor his lies he tries to market. A triggering event is what he was, and there's no other way to spin it. In history's false flags are commonplace now. Thousands die this minute. It's time to get Bibi out and have post-Hamas. Let's retire all the extremists and don't let peace be double-crossed. So, which side are you on? Now, which side are you on? Can't hear you. Which side are you on? Now, which side are you on? 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 Which side are you on?
Thanks so much, Pat. And now we have La Doña coming up as well. Get up, get down. Oakland is a union town. Stand up, get down. Oakland is a union town. Get up, get down. Oakland is a union town. Get up, get down. Oakland is a union town. Free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free, free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
I said free, free, free Palestine.
Free Palestine.
Test, test. What's up, Oakland? We're here as teachers, we're here as tias, we're here as daughters of teachers, granddaughters of teachers and UFW workers, and it's our collective power that will change the course of history. As a teacher at Urban Promise Academy, with some other wonderful educators, I tell my students that we all have tools, we all have powers, we all have resources, and it is the moment, now is the moment, it's a critical moment that we all mobilize all of the powers in our hands, all of the love, all of the music, all of the art, all of the speeches and conversations that you can have with people in your community. The moment is now. We have that power. So thanks for showing up today and for sharing in this beautiful movement. Drummers, if you want to play with us, you're welcome to come up or stay where you at.
El día 7 y octubre era el mes. Jamás atacó al Estado ocupador de Israel. En 2 meses que siguieron, Israel arrasó a Palestina. Mataron a niños, hombres, mujeres y periodistas. El mundo entero levantó y gritó alto el fuego. Metimos en lucha todo el pueblo contra el genocidio. Biden nos ignora para proteger a su cliente. Las armas americanas son las que usa el IDF. Son las que usa el IDF. Y por colmo quieren criticar a quien critique sus acciones. No se puede silenciar nuestros gritos y versiones. Demandamos alto el fuego, protegemos a la vida y que se libere la tierra hermosa Palestina. Y que viva, viva Palestina. Y que viva, viva Palestina. Y que viva, viva Palestina.
¡Que viva Palestina libre! ¡Que viva! And we've been going through this not since October 2nd, but for 75 years. This struggle has been ongoing, and we have been standing with the people of Palestine, and it won't stop today, it won't stop tomorrow. We will be with them until all of Palestine is free.
Cuando se van, ratas que quieren comer nuestro pan, que nos ofrecen y que es que nos dan, de dónde vienen y cuando se van.
Let's cut the track. Thank you. So we're obviously having like a little tech difficulties. And, a mess up is always a dress up. So I would like for us to continue to sing a song that my parents and my grandparents were organizers with the UFW, alongside Fred Ross Sr., alongside Cesar Chavez, alongside my tia Jessica Govea. And they would begin and they would end every single gathering with a song called De Colores. So if you guys would join me, en cero cuando se van, let's sing De Colores for all of the people across the world in this struggle. Yeah, please, mandolin, drums, voices, whoever wants to.
De colores se visten los campos en la primavera. De colores son los pajarillos que vienen de afuera. De colores es el arco iris que debemos lucir. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Canta el gallo con el kirikiri, kiri, kiri, kiri. La gallina con el cara, 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 cara. Los polluelos con el pío, 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 pío. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí. Y por eso los grandes amores de muchos colores me gustan a mí.
Let's hear it again for La Doña. All right, y'all, we got just a couple more speakers for you, and then we will be taking to the streets here, so please stick around, be part of this beautiful march, be part of this movement. Next, I have Margot Goldstein, rank and file member of UESF. Thanks for being here, Margot.
That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you, La Doña. Representing the United Educators of San Francisco on the unceded land of the Ohlone people, we stand with you today unified for a free Palestine. I am not only a teacher, but the daughter and granddaughter of Holocaust survivors. And for me, never again means for anyone. Last month, UESF passed a resolution to end all U.S. aid to Israel and immediate aid and assistance to Gaza. 2 years ago, we endorsed an end to Israel's bombardment of Gaza, displacement at Sheikh Jarrah, and support for BDS, boycott, divestment, and sanctions. We know that this was a strategy used to put pressure on South Africa to end apartheid. Just as it was motivated by freedom and upholders of democracy and equality then, it is the same now. UESF rejects attempts to use our stance on Palestine to divide us or accuse us of prejudice. We condemn anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and any form of bigotry. Standing against oppression, no matter what person, state, or occupying entity exerts it, it is our right and duty to speak against it. Our commitment to justice extends beyond borders with other movements worldwide. We know our struggles are connected and we must fight with and for one another. This goes beyond our places of work because our government uses desperately needed funds, using our tax dollars to go overseas, expelling over 2 million from their homes right now, while bombing and killing entire generations of Palestinian families. Our communities in SFUSD include the families of those being murdered, and we stand and fight with them for an end to this nightmare. One organization here today working with SFUSD is the Arab Resource Organizing Center, and can we just give them props right now? They are dealing with not only the regular, everyday Islamophobic and racist attacks, but the district is launching an investigation while they're trying to fight this genocide at the same time. So I'm actually also, as a teacher, going to ask you to do something and pull out your phone and go to bit.ly bit.ly/SFUSDYouth. Again, I'm going to say it one more time, bit.ly/SFUSDYouth to support students in Iraq against these attacks. It will go to a petition. With them and with you, we stand for collective liberation. We cannot and we will not be complicit in this genocide or be silenced. Achieving a ceasefire is the minimum, and an end to occupation requires the broadest unified front possible. We know that the majority of our elected officials are not listening. It's going to take us, the masses, unions, cultural organizations, students, and all who stand on the right side of history to stop this U.S.-funded war machine and genocide. The masses are with Palestine, like no other time. I will say it again, the masses are with Palestine. We have many struggles, but one fight. Please repeat after me. Many struggles? One fight. Many struggles? One fight. From Palestine to Mexico. These border walls have got to go. From Palestine to Mexico. These border walls have got to go. Free Palestine.
Thank you so much, Margot. Okay. Next we have Iris Rosenblum-Sellers, head steward from UAW 2865.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Viva, viva Palestina! Viva, viva Palestina! Hello, union siblings! My name is Iris, and I'm a head steward of UAW Local 2865. UAW represents 48,000 academic workers at the University of California. It is an honor to speak today with such a diverse group of organizers working towards our common goal of a free Palestine. UAW Locals 2865 and 5810, in coalition with organizations like Students for Justice in Palestine, have been organizing for a free Palestine since our executive boards condemned the genocide and ongoing occupation and called for a ceasefire on October 13th, just days after the most recent round of Israeli aggression in Gaza. We've also led within our Reformed International Union. After our joint council voted nearly unanimously to send our statement to the International, the director of UAW Region 6, Mike Miller, brought the ceasefire resolution to the International Executive Board and organized alongside rank-and-file workers in our union to get it passed on December 1st. The UAW has become the largest union to call for an immediate and permanent ceasefire in Gaza. A stance that was largely unthinkable just months ago. Strong support from the labor movement is critical to our ability to end the occupation of Palestine. A century of attacks on the anti-imperialist left has built a political consensus in Washington for more war, more occupation, and more bloodshed. But just a few months ago, Joe Biden, who could at any time make the call and end the war and end the occupation, was on our picket line speaking to our members. He spoke directly with our president, Sean Fain, taking our lead in resolving the contract negotiations with the big three automakers. Now, what does that mean? It means that the Washington political consensus is not unbreakable. It means that if organized labor is unified in our demand for peace, then we can win peace. If we are unified in our fight against the genocide, then we can end the genocide. And if we are unified in our call to end the occupation, then we can end the occupation. And what's clear to me today is that the labor movement has never been so unified in its call for peace. Unions are among the last of American institutions which are by and for the working class, who have much more in common with the people of occupied Palestine than with our bosses. It is therefore all the more important that we as union leaders and organizers join the international coalition to end the 75-year occupation of Palestine. Coalition and collaboration between student organizations like SJP, community organizations like Jewish Voice for Peace, Palestinian Youth Movement, AROC, and ANSWER, and labor unions like all those here today will achieve a ceasefire soon and a free Palestine within our lifetimes. The international working class is behind the Palestinian people, and we have all the power in the world. Who's got the power? Who's got the power? I'll end by sharing my profound inspiration at the unity I see today. As workers from all sectors, we sometimes have different short-term goals, but we stand uncompromisingly behind the principle of freedom and dignity for Palestinians and for all working people. Thank you.
Thank you, Iris. Thank you, UAW, for your leadership. Up next, we have Dr. Jess Gunham from the Do No Harm Coalition.
Hey, Oakland, can you make some noise? Oakland, we gotta hear you from here to Palestine. Make some noise. Our brothers and sisters in Gaza need to hear you one more time. Make some noise. You can see my awesome siblings behind me in the healthcare world. Make some noise for my siblings in the healthcare world. So listen, y'all, I'm Palestinian. And I've been working in Gaza for the last 25 years. I've lost 5 colleagues and their total families, 43 people, from 3 months old to 77 years. We're witnessing a genocide and the ethnic cleansing of an indigenous Palestinian people right before our eyes, with the full support and full blessing of this government, this president, and this Congress. 20,000 Palestinians dead, 10,000 are children, including babies in the NICU, 45,000 injured, thousands are unaccounted for, and we have 1.8 million Palestinians in Gaza who are internally displaced. We have infectious disease outbreaks and mass starvation. But my siblings behind me and healthcare workers all over the world are rising up. There's a global call to action for healthcare workers because healthcare workers, hospitals, and patients have been under attack by the Israeli military. There have been 500 attacks on healthcare facilities. Hundreds of doctors, nurses, and healthcare workers have been killed and arrested. And 36 hospitals in Gaza are completely non-functional right now. Thousands and thousands of patients have been killed. Healthcare infrastructure has been destroyed. And this is very important. An attack on one healthcare worker is an attack on every healthcare worker. The Israeli military and its apartheid system are attacking our sacred spaces of healing. are sacred spaces of healing, and this is why healthcare workers are globally rising up, saying no to genocide, no to killing healthcare workers, no to killing Palestinian civilians, and stop bombing hospitals. I want to say something to my union siblings today. Thank you for coming out today. Thank you. Listen, y'all have to know that us being here today is going to save lives in Palestine. You being here today is going to save lives of Palestinian children. We cannot stop this mobilization. You ought to know that the heart and soul of the Palestine liberation movement are the Palestinian Union movement, which has been around forever in Palestine and is in the heart and the soul of the Palestine liberation movement. We're standing in solidarity with all of our Palestinian brothers and sisters in the union movement. But y'all in the union, the rank and file are with us. We got to put pressure on the national leadership who are silent in the face of this genocide. Put pressure on them. Palestinians were dying for freedom. Literally, we're dying for freedom. We're dying for dignity, for self-determination. And you have to realize every single Palestinian that's dying today is dying for you and for all of us, for our dignity, for our self-determination, and for our freedom. Will you stand with me in solidarity with Palestine? What? We demand an immediate ceasefire. We demand the resumption of humanitarian aid. We demand the ending of the siege and the colonization of Gaza. We demand an end to the settler colonial project in Palestine and the theft of Palestinian land. We demand freedom, dignity, equal rights, and self-determination of all Palestinians in historic Palestine. Will you join me in marching for a free Palestine? All right, let's march.
Free Palestine!
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! All right, let's give it up for the healthcare workers! If our leaders wanted to, they could call for a ceasefire today if they had the political will. As someone with family in Gaza, I want to say that our solidarity here not only is bringing us hope, but it's doing so much for us as Palestinians right now to see just the level of support that we have, not just for our movements, but for our connected movements, because we know without Palestine being free, none of us will be free. And as long as the United States is complicit in its genocide of Gaza, we will continue to put pressure on our electeds. So long as the United States continues to fund occupation and terrorism, we will continue to show up, right? Our oppressors know no borders, so our solidarity too must know no borders. So what we're going to do now, I just want to make a quick shout out. Since this all started in October, this is the first labor rally of its type in the country where we have multiple unions coming together in solidarity. So what we're going to do, we want to take a photo of this occasion. What we are going to do, before y'all move, what we're going to do is we're going to come up and we're going to take a large group photo to show the power of labor in the Bay Area. After that, I want to We're here for you. So grab a sign if you see one. We are all going to take over the street at 14th after the photo. We're going to take over the street. We're going to stay behind these banners, and we're going to show the Bay Area that we show up for Palestine. I said it's not complicated. Gaza will be liberated. Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!